Hello everybody, it's Holger Müller here with IBM's Javier Olaizola talking about the thing which is on top of everybody's mind, which is data and
AI.
AI, of course. Yeah. So why are we here on the crowded show floor at reInvent in Las Vegas talking about this? What does IBM want to talk about from data and AI perspective?
So hey Jorge,
Yeah.
and please meeting you. I think that it's going to be this exciting week with AWS.
Busy week, yeah.
Busy week, really. So I think that the one thing that we need to acknowledge is why AWS and IBM. So what do we have
What
to
do you do together? Yeah.
together, right? So I think that what clients value today and what will differentiate the winners from the rest is speed.
Yeah.
And the ability to execute at the speed and making things done at the real speed is what I think that we can bring together with AWS and IBM consulting.
Which is very interesting because IBM traditionally is associated with quality,
yeah,
right? Reliability, speed. So give me some examples for speed with IBM.
I think that we are now adapting ourselves at high speed and the ability that we can execute for our clients now, and we are reducing the cycle times in a meaningful way.
Okay.
Applications that we were developing in the past, when I say in the past, is like last year,
right?
In 10 months,
right?
We can execute now in 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So that is the level of speed that we are talking about and the opportunity that we have in front of us.
Very impressive. How do you achieve that? What's the magic?
One of the things that we have done is we have hardened all our IP, all our experience, all our methodologies into our agentic frameworks, into our advantage platform.
Okay.
And that is what we are using to execute and to deliver for our clients. We deploy that in our clients' AI platforms, but in AWS, for instance, for example, in Bedrock and so on, and we can deliver through the platform for them. But and that is where we can interpret the client's data with our existing context or understanding how to optimize those workflows, and we deliver with that.
Platform-based consulting service which are powered by AI. And you said for 10 months to
8 weeks.
8 weeks, very impressive. To do what? What do I get?
So you can, on one side, one of the big topics that we are discussing these days is how do you avoid technical debt?
Okay.
So we have created huge technical debt over the last years. So how do you optimize that application modernization? How those VMware exits that everybody's talking about, right? Or mainframe modernization, how we can accelerate all those programs. So when you have no or outdated documentation, when you have code that you don't interpret and you don't know how to execute.
So the developers who build the code are long gone and retired.
That is, and for many years we have not been able to address the capital of that debt. Now we are able to, and we was just paying for the dividends of the debt. Now we can really go after the capital of the debt, and we can accelerate and bring our clients to the next level.
Very interesting. So my research area is enterprise acceleration.
All right.
What do enterprises need to do to become faster, move more agile, right? It's broken down to people and technology, right? But what I'm saying, people, is your platform needs to be faster than the markets that you're in. But your service provider, your partner, has to be faster than the markets, because otherwise you cannot catch up, right? So it's very interesting to see that. Any specific things that you're doing together with AWS here?
Yeah,
any new things coming.
Definitely. So I think that one thing that we have very clear is when you put hybrid cloud and AI together, these are the most transformative forces of our time. And in order to put all this together, so basically you need to take a very differentiated approach in order to execute on the option. One is you need to understand what you want to achieve in terms of business context.
Very good.
So what is the process that you want to optimize? How do you orchestrate all those new workflows? So how do you reimagine all those workflows? So we're doing that, and we are harvesting all that in our experience. Second is you need to have your data curated. Correct? Because your AI will not work unless you have
data is only as good as your AI is only as good as your data.
Unless you have your data properly governed, secured, and AI make it this AI ready. So we are executing on those data products in order to feed all these agents. Third is we are enabling this AI to the humans for the human side. We are meeting the user where the user is, because I think that at the end of the day you are telling that is how do you adopt that AI, those technologies, and we are meeting clients or the users where they are. And finally, you need to have all this properly governed. You need to understand that your costs are not going to go over the roof suddenly, and you are having the expected results and outcomes. So I think that is all that human and digital governance together is what we are putting all together. This is what we have harvested under our advantage, and we are deploying this advantage under the AWS platform.
Very good, and leads to the acceleration you mentioned. The governance factor is very important because people need to be compliant with legislation on the one side, but they also want to make sure that they're staying in budget. Any thoughts on that, why it's so important?
I mean, listen, sometimes people say, oh, governance and regulation, this is
Yep.
like slowing down.
Yep.
And so it's exactly the opposite.
Right.
Because when you have really your data governed, you know that this is the reliability of the models that you can get, and you can really create these autonomous workflows. This is what is giving you speed, because you have certainty of what is the speed that you can achieve.
Exactly.
So when you build this foundation, is the way in which you can really accelerate the metabolism of your organization.
Right,
really
I love
accelerate.
it. I like it. The metabolism of your organization, right? Because you're doing the right things. You don't have to worry that you have to stop something because you're not compliant. You don't have to pay fines which you haven't budgeted for. Very good aspect, very good point. What did I forget? What did I have to ask you about yet?
I think that many people would think that we are now in third year of the ChatGPT moment, right?
Yep, correct.
And
Fourth year, 3 years ago.
yeah, 3 years
Fourth
ago.
year, yeah.
Because we're actually the fourth
Right,
year, right?
yeah.
So, and I would say that for me, we have seen different complementary assets that have happened over the different LLMs, right?
Yes.
So we have gone through prompting, RAGs, MCPs, agents. So, but at the core, we are now back that the data is the thing that is really important. And it's everything about the context. How do you manage that data so that you can fit with the right context? Because the transformer architecture has not changed dramatically.
Correct.
So
Correct.
therefore the innovation is coming from those that really can manage that context properly. So that is a muscle that all organizations need to have. And eventually, I think that we have seen some organizations that believe that, oh, AI is going to do the work. And that is not, unfortunately not. So you need really to practice, you need to develop those capabilities, you need to treat your data really, really seriously as a real product, as a real asset.
Yes.
And that is what will make your really AI work at the scale.
Very good point. And you're not done. By traditional enterprise software things, you implement something, you go live, and then you're done for 5, 6, 7 years, right? Maybe some updates and so on, upgrades, right?
Absolutely.
But with AI, the data underlying it just keeps changing. And with that, the actions which you put into your agents or whatever AI automation you have is changing. So it's a never stopping situation now.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's for me, it's all about this context of what is the decisions that the agents need to have in order to make the action for you.
Right.
And the other thing that is very, very relevant is we have today, the organizations are set up around the human beings.
Yes.
And in many cases we see, oh, this real-time data, but I don't need real-time data because I don't have real-time humans. I don't have an organization that is always on.
Yeah.
And we spend lots of time preparing the data to show up so that my management or my leadership can have a visual data so that they can take decisions.
Right.
Agents don't do that. Don't need that.
Yeah.
So they can really act at a totally different speed. So whenever that you reimagine your workflows, reimagine your processes, you need to have a totally different lens. It's not about putting AI in your existing workflows.
Right.
It's about really reimagining how you want
your
your workflows and how do you re-architect your whole organization.
So otherwise, you're stuck in the efficiency model, and you get more efficient, which is nice, but you're not rethinking what is effective for you to do the business,
And
which
you,
is very good point.
you don't get to the next scale. So I think that you
Exactly.
will get some marginal improvements. And that is what we have seen. It's like influencing the 5, 10%, 15%. I think that we are really getting at a totally different level of scale.
If you rethink your approach in the age of AI.
And the value that we are unlocking with this next AI era is significant.
Right. And there's a lot of work to come. Because all of a sudden, if you work in an agentic world, let's say you have 1,000 call center agents and your systems are built for 1,000 call center agents. If each of them has 5 agents working for them, your backend system loads is much, much bigger. So all of a sudden, you have to renovate, modernize your backend systems to scale for the age of AI because your business is working much better.
Yeah. And in the past, we had the limitations was the human beings, but now we are taking this away, and it will be about the speed at which we can compute and that you can run this process.
Exactly, it's the affordability of the AI automation that you can run that makes sense of a business case. I enjoyed the conversation. Thanks for having me, Javier.
Thank you, Javier.
My pleasure.
Thanks so much.
To see you.